Alright, out in the woods now to reveal the Stonefall RAPTOR. I'm making these in a couple different metals in W2, A2 tool steel, and CPM 54CM. Now this one I've already hacked into an antler with and held its edge, didn't take any damage. Now I'm going to throw it some. This is the first throw I've ever taken with this knife, so let's see how she works. Now for a tip test. Right. That's a pretty good tip test, I think. There's the tip. Still nice and pointy. Alright, so it's the day after, and the only maintenance I did on this blade was just to wipe it off. And that's after playing in some pretty wet snow for several hours. I don't see any rust spots. Got some ferro rod residue, but that'll all come off with a very minor amount of work. Yeah, it's already wanting to come off. Let's see here. Blade is dirty, but no rust spots whatsoever. There's a little bit of caking of mud and tree materials. Might have a tiny bit of, nope, that just came right off. Yeah, so W2 held up okay after that abuse in the woods, putting it away just mildly wet. Alright, let's do a little edge retention test and see how sharp it still is. Because after throwing knives, the biggest danger when you throw a knife is not the tree, unless it's a fragile knife, but it's actually the rocks in the ground. So let's see how much of an edge is still there. We hit a rock at one point. I don't know where the rock hit, so we could encounter a tiny little bit of damage. Yeah, it felt pretty good. I think there is somewhere on the blade that it actually did smack a rock. That might have been it right there. We're throwing. It feels pretty good. Maybe not. Okay, so maybe not. I did hear it hit some rocks. It could be possible though that when I'm slicing, that the part with the rock damage is small enough that it just kind of coasts over and it doesn't really catch that much. All right, now let's see. The blade can still shave. I actually did this a second ago, but the camera wasn't on. Okay, well, there's some shaving. All right, pretty well. Okay, so I can take here up and down the blade. Let's see, let's get it to focus. I think there is maybe some tiny little dull spots up here near the tip where it smacked the rocks, but it seems not to be too much of a drag. So, pretty happy. When throwing blades, the biggest thing you have to worry about is the knife itself smacking rocks in the ground. Unless you have a really fragile knife, which, I mean, there's a lot of fragile knives out there. But yeah, after a day of playing in the snow and hacking and throwing, the Stonefall Raptor is proving its capability and durability so far. More tests coming.